Hey everybody, what's up? Pikesnell68 here, and welcome back to our Let's Play of Jak and Daxter the Precursor Legacy. Sort of. This is just going to be a bonus video where I'm just going to take a walk around the world, kind of get to see the sights and stuff that would have normally been blocked just by, not taking a look at the environment or anything, and usually blocked by my end card. I will be putting images up on screen and stuff, so some stuff may still be blocked. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into it with our first thing, which is Jak and Daxter the Precursor Legacy, the Lost Levels companion game. This was a Java-based Flash game released in either 2001 or 2002, I believe, designed to just promote the game. For a while it was defunct, but members of the Jak and Daxter subreddit were able to revive it thanks to dumping browser caches and being able to get all the necessary files for it, and it's 100% playable through Flashpoint. What you're seeing on screen right now is actually my playthrough of it. It's a fairly short game, only about a half-hour long. All it consists of is Sandover Village and elements of the surrounding areas. There's a very obvious beach, the fisherman and his minigame are still there, all that fun stuff. I was actually unfortunately not able to beat it because I actually kind of soft locked it when I was doing my very last objective for it, unfortunately. But yeah, that's just going to be in the corner for the rest of the video for you to see my playthrough, because I was not comfortable with doing a full-on blind playthrough of it to be a proper video of the series. If I were to do a full playthrough on it, I'd like it to be more after I've played it and know everything type deal, rather than just a blind react, even though, like I said, there's not much to it. Next on our screen, though, if you can see right here, there were actually 5 villages initially planned for this game, so 5 hub worlds in total. We only got 3, unfortunately, 4 if you want to count Gaul and Maya Citadel, which I think this thing actually does. Going into full detail here, we have Village 1, which is the seaside village, which that's obviously here in Sandover. We have Sentinel Beach, Forbidden Jungle, and Misty Island all accounted for. The Sunken Village, which would have been Rock Village, it has Boggy Swamp, the Sunken Ruins, which is the Lost Precursor City, the Rolling Hills, which would have been the Precursor Basin, and the Ogre Mid-Boss, which accounts for Claw and the Mountain Pass, assumedly. Volcano Village is Volcanic Crater, obviously. Here's where it deviates a bit, though. We have the Lava Mines instead of the Spider Cave. I would assume that would have been more similar instead to the Lava Tube rather than what Spider Caves ended up being. We have the Sierras, which is completely new, obviously not in the final game. And then Snow, which would have just been Snowy Mountain. The 4th village, which what I can only assume would have been the Yellow Sage's village, just by how everything is going to match up right now. Yeah, that would have been called the Stilt Village, and it would have consisted of the Precursor Ruins, another new area, the Savannah, which would have been yet another new area, almost desert in design, I believe, unless I'm looking at this wrong. Maybe I am. And Cave Under Falls, which that seems to be what our stand-in for the Spider Caves is. And finally, we have the Underground Village. This is where Gaul and Maya Citadel would have been in the final game. So it would have been a proper village, and then we had the Precursor Foundry, Underground Forest, Underground Boss Citadel for the Citadel proper, and then the final boss. I can only assume, because I haven't unfortunately read too much on it, I can only assume these last 2 villages were cut down due to time constraints or something similar, unfortunately. I would have loved to see these in the final game. All the areas sound super interesting, and this game just feels a tad too short to me. Adding in those 2 extra villages would have definitely gone a long way towards making this game better. Anyways, let us move on to our next topic here. What you can see on screen now is footage from the PS4 version of the game. Jak will just start sliding when he's idle for a bit. It doesn't do much initially, but if you just let this go for a while, as in, say, you walk away without pausing the game and you're gone for like very, very long minutes at a time, this can actually result in Jak just falling off a cliff to his death, which is super funny to me. Next up, the inspiration for Jak's design, I believe, not like his actual design character, I think more like clothing and stuff, it was taken from the comic Battle Chasers, and even the logo for the game looks heavily similar to the actual logo for Battle Chasers. It's 100% where Naughty Dog got their inspiration from for it. What is next? Oh, something I never got to show in the Let's Play initially. I'll try to find footage of this. It's really only going to be possible for me to get it on the PS2 version, but Jak can actually trip in this game. It's a hard-coded feature into the game that happens when... What will trigger it is if you're moving from one area to another too fast for the game to deload the previous one and the next one properly, so it'll force Jak to trip and fall down so that it has enough time to load the next area. This can most commonly be seen between Forbidden Jungle and Sentinel Beach, going from one to the other, which I'm going to have on screen right now if I can get footage of it on my PS2 version. Next up is a manga for the game of all things, Jak and Daxter Itachi de Warurai Ka. I'm assuming I pronounced that right, hopefully. It ran from February 2002 to February 2003 in Koro Comics. Unfortunately, the October 2002 and February 2003 issues have not been scanned for preservation. The manga isn't anything too exciting. It's mainly just a bunch of vignettes with areas and characters taken from the game. It's comedy, all in all. It doesn't have a proper plot or anything to it. But even to this day of recording this, which is July 17th, 2023, like I said, those two issues have still not been scanned or preserved anywhere. If anybody happens to have these, somehow, I don't know how you would, be sure to look to the proper sources for preserving them. I'll have on screen where you should go for it. Next up, the NTSC and PAL covers have hidden text on the Precursor orb visible in them. On the NTSC cover, the Precursor orb says Power On, while the PAL cover reads One Destin, and then the last letter of that is cut off, which you'd be quick to assume is that's supposed to say One Destiny, but that's not actually the case. The orb was discovered in a trailer for the game initially, and you can see the full text on it. Instead of One Destiny, it actually says One Destins with a Z at the end, which is pretty interesting. Though, since I'm talking about it, Precursor text, this is actually a fully decipherable language that Naughty Dog put into the game. You've seen it all throughout this game. Precursor orbs and just general Precursor tech have it all over them. The text is a substitution cipher based on the Mara script from the Indiana Jones Adventure Temple of the Forbidden Eye ride at Disneyland. On screen, you can see the full cipher available now if you want to translate anything available in this game. And finally, very fitting because we made it as far as the Precursor Temple in Forbidden Jungle here. On the PAL manual of the game, European region manual of the game, there is text that reads as follows. It circles the entirety of the manual along the edges, creating a perfect frame of the actual part of the manual you want to pay attention to. Again, this is in Precursor text as well. In ancient, sleepless, uninvaded sleep, the silent giants wait to be awakened. Deep will their slumber be, silent their once echoing voices, until the world has no memory of their beginnings. In the gloom they will watch, and they will wait. Those who go to them for answers will return only with new questions, but those who will come when the silence ends, the one who carries the light will awaken the voices. With him, one whose fate was twisted towards darkness long ago. In the time before time, when the light bursts from the earth, the answers to the questions will begin, but only begin, for still the world will not be ready to learn the truth of its past, or the secrets of its future. This... If you've played the rest of the Jak and Daxter series, this text can mean a lot. In the context of this game, which is the only context that I'm going to be looking at it in right now, it obviously talks about the Precursors, and, you know, the ancient things that they have dotting the land. But what's curious the most is they speak of Jak and Daxter. The one who carries the light will awaken the voices, that being a direct reference to Jak, but with him will be one whose fate was twisted towards darkness long ago, representing Daxter. Again though, this is just in the context of this game. Later games very much change the proper meaning of this, and I'm not sure how long Naughty Dog had all of this planned ahead. If they planned a lot of the stuff of Jak and Daxter ahead from the beginning, then the implications of this text are amazing in retrospect. But with that, that's all I have to say about this game. There wasn't too much that I wasn't able to go over in the proper playthrough, as you can tell. I'm not gonna let my full playthrough of the Lost Levels run through. As you could have seen, probably I cut out bits of just nothing happening. My full recording of it was only about 20 minutes, if I recall. So, I'd say about like 7 or 8 minutes shy of this. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I enjoyed doing this Let's Play, and I appreciate all the compliments that have been given to me on it so far. We'll be returning very shortly with a new series. See you guys next time.